Ringside Collectibles, WrestlingFigures.com. We've returned to San Diego Comic-Con 2024. It's right after the Mattel WWE panel, and I'm here with the voice of the voiceless, Second City Sate, Mr. CM Punk. Punk, how you doing, man?
Mr. CM Punk. Very formal.
I'm
great. I'm great. Thank you. Thank you for being polite.
Of course, always. So I have kind of a funny story to tell you. So it was mentioned a little bit on the panel, your invasion, right, of San Diego Comic-Con 2011.
Yeah.
So as that was happening, it's one of the first panels I worked with Ringside Collectibles. I was cameraman at the time. I had this just sinking feeling that you would be around, so much so that I turned the ND filter on, which anyone that knows tech will know, like, I absolutely ruined that because it's already, it was just very dark, ultimately.
He's shaking his head,
yeah,
right?
he is.
Shame.
Yes.
For shame.
For shame, he's right, and he should have been ashamed. But I was just like, I knew you would be there, and you were. So you showed up, right? You made your way into that panel room. You were messing with Triple H. It was like such a great time for everyone. But when I saw that you came in, I kind of like ran by everyone and stuck my camera in your face. And it's still one of the just coolest moments I've been able to film in my entire career at this point. And it was like such kind of a legendary thing that happened. To kind of share that story with you, do you feel that there really is like kind of an aura and an energy to the fact that nobody really knows what you're going to do next? I think that's really, when I think back on that, what it felt like. It truly is like some of the last most kind of intense moments like that. There was just so much mystique to it, and you still carry that with you now. Do you feel that still?
That is the magic of CM Punk. When everyone else knows that what we do is not real, they point to me and they say, "Oh, except that guy. That guy's real."
That's the best answer I could have heard.
That's the secret,
that.
everybody.
So, yeah. So very exciting. Mattel WWE action figures. Great to see you back. With WWE with respect to this. Some of our Ringside Collectibles. We've had some really popular exclusives. We've done an ECW CM Punk, the Straight Edge Society CM Punk, which is going to be re-released as a Ringside exclusive from the Vault figure. And also the new upcoming Ultimate Edition Money in the Bank 2011 CM Punk, which we do have here, actually. So if we want to have you take a look at it.
Some free advertising.
Perfect.
This figure is amazing. I sent pictures of this to my wife, and she immediately focused on this screaming me and said, "Oh, this is you every time you're texting me about your travel woes when you're not at home."
She's like, "This looks familiar."
Yeah, she knows. She knows me. Yeah.
And of course, 3 really distinct scans, like blowing the kiss, the screaming head, and also a super spot on head sculpt right here. Just the likeness, I would say, has definitely improved since you were last part of the WWE. How does that make you feel to see it a little more accurate? Is it frightening a little, or
no? It's
exciting?
Cool. It's always cool because I know I'm a figure maker's nightmare because I have all these tattoos, some of which you can't actually put on toys, and I'm always planning on getting new tattoos and stuff like that. So they have to make new toys of me. Like, that's the secret, ladies and gentlemen. Like, that's how you get paid more money. They have to constantly make new figures, new gear, new hair, new look, your arm in a sling, whatever it takes.
Very exciting. So as we referenced before, like the Straight Edge Society Punk, how does it feel to look back on that? That was kind of a different phase for you, right? So first time you're kind of leading a faction ultimately, right? So to see that again, what kind of feelings does that bring up?
That was a special time in my career, I got to be, you always hear people say like, "Oh, my character is me turned up to 11, and man, was that ever me turned up to 11. The preachy, you take everything that is like stereotypical about the straight edge and the whole movement and the subculture, and you get to play that as a bad guy on television. And that it was the time of my life. It was just so fun to be super preachy and, trying to weave in a lot of little religious tones, trying to force my stuff on other people. Like that, it was the ultimate bad guy. It was a time of my life.
Excellent. As a leader of not just that faction, but the Nexus, right? When that was going down, right around your pipe bomb phase, of course, another Ringside Collectibles exclusive coming out that looks amazing. Do you see yourself in the future now that you're a little more connected to NXT, right? You help a lot of the folks down there, and it seems like you're working really closely with people. Do you see yourself leading a faction again at this point in your career?
I'm not going to say no because you never say never. I don't see it happening in the foreseeable future, but you never know what's going to happen. Like that's the cool thing about where we're at as a company right now. Creatively speaking, this is the most fruitful creative locker room that I think I've ever been in, where ideas aren't ignored and shot down, and people are eager to share ideas, so somebody someday could have a brilliant idea, that something that I have blinders on and can't see, and I would be receptive to any of the ideas as long as they're good.
But it's a tangible difference, right? Compared to when last time you were around and now, you can feel the energy and the difference you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely. To a point where I almost don't like talking about it because everyone thinks I'm just like towing the company line,
Yeah.
But if this place is the way it was now, I wouldn't have left 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
This is the most basic way I can explain it.
Yeah, I think it's okay that you do that. It's good to be happy at your job, right? So
sure. Absolutely.
So really exciting. Anything in the future in terms of your gear stays pretty accurately you, right? Do you ever consider changing it up, or we've seen you of course wear like long tights, the long boys in the past? Is that something that you could represent, or do you see yourself in that way?
Maybe shorts. I also don't know. I just think the classic WWE CM Punk is kick pads, knee pads, and trunks. And again, I never say never. That could change in the future, but right now I know at SummerSlam I'll be in trunks.
Cool. So you're here at San Diego Comic-Con 2024. We know you're a big comic book guy. We know AJ, of course, is a big comic book person. We saw that she has work here, right? How exciting for you is it to see her kind of making your dreams come true in that way as you come across Comic-Con?
Nobody works harder than her, and I think it's super awesome that she has tons of irons in a million different fires, whether it's the new comic book that they're launching here in San Diego, her and her writing partner, Amy Garcia, or TV movies, scripts, all kinds of stuff. She's very, very busy, and I'm just a proud husband. I get to watch her succeed at all these different things, and it's fun, and I selfishly get to experience that. It's kind of like watching all these NXT kids get their first action figure. Because my first action figure was 20 years ago. So that feeling, even though this is a cool action figure, when I'm presented this and I see it, that feeling of it being my first action figure isn't there anymore.
Of course.
So I get great joy from watching others get great joy, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's like kind of a proud papa energy, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, a little bit, but it's just cool to be able to experience that. Sitting next to Zoe Stark while she gets handed her first action figure, and you see her, she's overcome with emotion. Like I get to share a little sliver of that. And it makes me feel good about where I'm at.
That's exciting. We're glad you get to feel that energy. One final question for you. Obviously, it's sometimes good to work with your spouse, right? Could you possibly see that happening with AJ returning, or even just for like a Legends deal that she could have another figure made?
I'm the wrong guy to ask those questions about. My stance, and I know there's a lot out there of that, but I certainly am not pushing her to do anything. I think she knows that there's options. I think she sees how happy I am and how things are different. But if the right situation presented itself, it would have to be a discussion between like her and, certain people. And I don't necessarily want to be in the middle of that.
Sure.
Just because it could get kind of, weird. I don't. selfishly, yes, I would love to make out with my wife on television again.
And we'll leave it at that, man. Hopefully that happens for you. Very happy to see you. Always great to catch up.
Appreciate it, man.
Thanks so much.
Thank you
and
very
and
much.
real pumped to have another exclusive of you at
pretty
the
neat.
store. So.